In this lecture, we are going to perform an analysis using creo simulate. Whenever you create any part using the creo parametric, you need to check it with any FEA software to check whether part is going to break or not. For this in creo, we have creo simulate. So whenever you are going to perform any simulation using creo, you need to follow all these steps. So first step is going to be importing or creating the geometry. After that, we need to properly select the units. In FEA, selection of proper units is very important. Then we need to mesh the part. Mesh can be according to the geometry, whether it is 1D, 2D or 3D. Then we have to apply the proper material and we have to apply the proper boundary condition and loading. And then in the end we need to solve this. After that we need to view the result. In this lecture we are going to solve the problem of a beam. In this beam you can see we have a beam of length 500 mm. You can see the length, material is steel, and this is the force we are applying, and this is the cross-sectional area. So now let's go to creo and solve this. So first of all I will go to a new part file. Before that we need to set our working directory, because in the working directory file all the files will be saved. So select proper working directory. I have created a folder of beam in the simulate and I am going to select this as my working directory. Click OK and then click on new. We are working in the units, that is millimeters. So click OK and here select millimeter Newton second. Click OK. So first of all we need to make the part. To make the part I will go to extrude, go to top view and then create a center rectangle like this. So this value we know is 25 and this value is 25. Click OK and this length is 500. Okay, so this value is 500. Click OK. Now you can see the beam part has been created. Now what I do, I will go to file and save as. I'm going to save this file in the beam. So this is my beam part. Now here I'm going to simulate this. To simulate this we have one option, that is we can go to live simulation. Go to this. So this live simulation is like a directly check on the part. We can directly apply the load and boundary condition and check the part. But in creo we have one more detailed simulation part. If you go to the application, here you can see simulate. Also creo has a standalone creo simulate software. In that options are same. So now I'm going to start with this simulate. So now we are in the creo simulate mode. In this simulate mode you can see first of all we have a type of setup. In this type of setup we have structural, thermal and model setup. Structural means whenever we are going to perform any structural analysis that is related to stresses, strains or any structure of the part. Thermal is whenever we are going to perform any heat transfer analysis. After that you will see loads. So in creo simulate we have different kinds of load like force, moment, pressure, bearing, gravity, etc. And then we have some options for constraining like displacement, planar, pin, ball, etc. And then we have a dialog window for material. We have material assignment, material orientation, and then we have analysis. So if you go to our steps of FEA, in these steps first step is importing or creating the geometry, second is about units, and third is about meshing. Okay, so now go to creo. So now we have to properly set the units. To make sure our units are proper, go to file, go to prepare and go to model properties. Here you will see units mmns. So make sure units are proper. If these are not proper we can change it. Now click close, and one more thing we need to do is, let's say if this part is not created using creo software or we have imported from any other software, then we need to check its dimensions. So to check the dimensions in creo we need to go to inspect option and then go to measure and then go to distance or length. Click on length and let's say I will select this edge, zoom in and click on this edge. So you can see it is going to show the edge 25 mm. So it means our dimensions are correct. So click on minimize, I can click cancel from here. Now first of all we need to do the meshing. To do the meshing we need to go to this refine model. In this refine model, in the rightward side you will see auto gem. So if you click on this arrow for auto gem, you will see auto gem. Right now we have this solid part. Sometimes we also have mid surface or mid surface solid. We have mixing of parts. So right now we are considering this as a solid body, so it is going to highlight solid. But before directly going to this auto gem, we need to change some settings for this. If you go to this control, click on this arrow, you will see maximum element size, edge length, minimum size, and we have some more options like hard point, hard curve, hard surface. So with this we are going to define the proper element size. So let's say here I'm going to define maximum element size for this. Click on this. Now we need to select the surface or the part. So I will go to references, I will go to component. Now you can see it is going to highlight this component part 001. So you can see this is the name part 001. For this part, let's say the element size is 5. So in this problem we are going to take the average element size, that is 5. Now you can see it is going to show some options with this green color that we have defined a condition that maximum element size is 5. And whenever we have a complex part, we can define some more option here. We can define for any surface, for any curve, any edge. So right now we have a simple part. So later on we are going to discuss some more options. Now let's do the mesh. To do the mesh, go to auto gem. You can also go to settings from here. In the settings you can select type of analysis, structural, and then we can select type of element. So for shell element we are going to take quad and tria, and for solid element we are going to take tetra element. Click OK. Click on auto gem. Now in this auto gem, go to this arrow, you will see volume. Click on this volume. We need to define the volume. So click on this arrow. Now hold down the left click of the mouse and drag it. Make sure complete body is selected inside this window. We are going to select all the surfaces. Click OK. Now click on create. So it is going to take some time, and in this status window it is going to show this number of elements has been created. And you will see in this status window about all the types of element. Now elements has been properly created. Click close. If I zoom in here, you will see the mesh. You can see tetra elements has been created. So what I do, I will click close from here. Now it is going to show us, do you want to save the mesh? I will click yes. I want to save it. Now the mesh has been generated and the mesh has been saved inside this model tree. Go to auto gem control. You will see auto gem control. Click on this arrow. So it is going to show auto gem. It means mesh has been generated. So we have created one step in this FEA, and we are going to continue this in the next lecture.